All right, welcome to a Monday edition of Life Without Sports. Hope your Monday was the same as your Sunday and your Saturday. Hi, everybody. Great to have you with us. He's Pacheco. I'm Meterparel. Mikey, I understand there were some issues in your plumbing department this
Man.
weekend. Not your physical plumbing department, but
yeah.
that's a good thing.
Yeah, let's
Your
take it.
house
Yeah,
plumbing department?
yeah. We had quite the weekend, John. We discovered a slow leak under the kitchen sink, so we have to. We've been talking about doing some stuff to the house anyway, so this is going to accelerate the process, I think. But and who knows how long it's been. It's leaking into the basement, or we have the sub base. It's not really a basement, but the crawl space area. So
Well,
that was
you like me. You're much more handy than I am, but usually, if there's anything wrong in my house, I call a guy.
Yeah. Well, this was beyond my, I thought about fixing it myself, but of course Sam was like, "No, we're calling a plumber."
Oh yeah, this is a plumber issue.
Well, and it turns out I was right. It's not something throwing a little duct tape on it wouldn't have worked. So
no,
or throwing a little caulking on it. I mean, it was an extensive. It's not going to be that part of it's not going to be. That's not the pricey part of it. The ugly thing is going to be when we have to tear up the kitchen. But yeah, that'll be. The insurance guy's coming today, so we'll probably get.
The good news is, folks, Mike's making a lot from this show.
I know, that's right. Yeah, send your donations. Click,
which is why we need you to click that subscribe button.
Yeah, subscribe and email us at lifewithoutsports. I'll give you my Venmo.
Yeah, please. PayPal, Venmo. We select. We take everything.
So that was Saturday afternoon, and then Saturday night we had a tornado warning come through. And we got three different phone calls from the Charlotte emergency alert system. The phone was going nuts with the alerts, and everybody on TV was telling us to seek shelter, which is you got to do that. We're not taking that lightly, but we had 2 dogs, a cat, my son, and my wife in our bathroom downstairs, which is the smallest, literally the smallest space we have in the house. But it's the only it's the only room in the house that has 4. That you're completely sealed off from windows or anything like that. So,
how long were you in the bathroom for?
It was about. It felt like an hour and a half. It was probably about 20 minutes.
Did you guys all huddle around it's like the campfire reading Us Weekly or People? Or I know there's some good bathroom material in there. Maybe the golf bathroom book.
Now this is the difference between now and 5 or 10, 20 years ago. So we were. You're gonna love this. So we put up the WCNC live stream and watched Larry sprinkle.
Oh boy! Oh,
Larry drove in. This it's funny.
And that is his real name, folks.
That
Larry
is,
Sprinkle.
Yeah. Watch Friday's show, and we'll give you the full. We give you the full rundown
yes.
on Larry. This is becoming, I would say, more and more of an occurrence here. I know last year I was at. I think where was I? I think I was at the Knights Stadium, BB&T Ballpark, and Sam did the same thing. She took John and the dogs and the cat and put him in there. It turned out to be that one was actually, we didn't get it here, but it did. There was some stuff that came through. Tornadoes. You don't mess with those things. I mean, that's
no. It's I think of like Oklahoma as tornado alley.
Yeah. We're not really.
Kansas.
We're probably like I wouldn't say we're in tornado alley, but it happens more often than not. I mean, you'll get maybe 1 or 2 a year. Somewhere in the state. Now, I'm not saying through Charlotte. Raleigh had it really bad. In fact, a couple, was it 5-6 years ago? The coast really got whacked.
Yeah, I remember that.
They had some really bad tornadoes. So as we look at doing home renovations, I'm thinking about putting in a panic room.
Have you seen that movie with Jodie Foster?
I have not seen that movie with Jodie Foster.
Press the button and the door closes.
Oh, nice.
And
yeah.
I'm just stunned that you found the cat to bring him to the bathroom.
Yeah, he's elusive.
Very elusive. He's like
Howard Hughes. He's the Howard Hughes of cats.
He's like A.J. Dillon in the open field. That thing can run right through you.
It's like A.J. Dillon.
And Mike, I was thrilled to see that pick in the second round.
Yeah, I was too.
I had a hunch. I had an inkling.
Yeah.
That he would go in the second round.
Yeah.
And I thought Miami might grab him, but when Green Bay got him, I know he's it's a showcase now with him and Jordan Love. A.J. Dillon picked by the Green Bay Packers, but the fact that they have Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon in the backfield, that's dynamic duo.
Well, and I mean, you obviously had a up close and personal look at A.J. Dillon. I saw him a couple times live. I was really excited for him. I'm not a Green Bay fan, but what a perfect guy for exactly what they want to do.
Oh yeah.
It's going to take a little bit of pressure off Aaron Rodgers, perhaps. He wasn't happy. Yeah. He probably was happy with that pick. He wasn't happy with the other pick they took on Thursday night. But but he also comes from I mean, not that this is a major concern because you got to deal with it. But I think the fact that he played in Boston, the weather's not going to be any kind of concern for him. Because Green Bay can get a little dicey, particularly in Panthers saw that this past season. They were out in November, and a snowstorm hit during the middle of the game. So
yeah, he's the classic. Don't want to tackle him in Lambeau in December, right? He can run right through you.
Yeah,
yards after contact.
Yeah,
north, south, east, west. He can do both.
Yeah.
I think J.K. Dobbins came with more flair. The kid Edwards-Helaire from LSU was a riser.
Yeah.
DeAndre Swift.
Yeah.
That was a good pick by Detroit. I knew Dillon would likely be the fourth or fifth running back off the board, but that's a great pick. And I think from a Patriots perspective, not so much.
Yeah.
I think to dive in there, besides Belichick's dog.
I was going to say, the star, I think Nike was the star of the draft, right?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, that was. And the fact that they picked a kicker with a white supremacist tattoo.
Yeah.
And in the fifth round, I know they need a kicker, but maybe they claim they did their due diligence, but that's going to have life. Here in Boston, that will be a sports radio topic for days.
Yeah. Well, and the kid claimed he didn't really understand the significance when he had the tattoo, correct?
Are you buying that?
I'm just saying. I'm not saying that's true. I'm just saying that's what he's saying.
Yeah, which is, to me, anything you put on your body, you have to realize there's some significance of that thing on your body.
Yeah, I would. Well, but I can see that. I could see that being true. I'm not saying it is true, but I could see a kid being like, "Oh, that's cool. Let's do that." Not knowing the significance of things. And I think, at the advanced stage that we are in our mid-30s, yes, we would investigate.
Speak for yourself. I'm around third into my 30th year.
Yeah, you're 29, right? 29 and a half?
29.
Coming up on Thursday.
20. I'm celebrating the...
You're going to be 29 again.
Old Chet Curtis line, for those of you watching from Boston. I'm celebrating the 27th anniversary of my 21st birthday on Thursday.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
Do the math.
Yeah, do the math. I could see somebody doing something without doing the proper research. But I think in this day and age, it's harder and harder to buy that you would do that. Especially because of social media. And when did he find out that it was linked to that? Right. I think that's something that you need to know. Because why? If it's a problem today, why wasn't it a problem 2 weeks ago?
Right. No, I honestly don't know as much about it as I would right now if I was doing a show on WEEI or the Sports Hub. Because I look at that story and I'm like, oh boy, I don't even want to hear it.
Yeah.
Like if the kid knows, get rid of him.
Right.
If the kid knew about it, get rid of him.
Right.
Cut your losses.
Right.
You don't need that headache.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like the Patriots are going there at this point. Maybe they will. Who knows?
Right.
But it just the tone of the draft for New England was disappointing to me. I know that it's Belichick being Belichick. You pick your kid from a Lenoir-Rhyne, a school that we both have been to.
Yes.
In Hickory, North Carolina.
Yeah,
so we're Lenoir-Rhyne experts.
It's a little bit of an hour west, slightly north and west of Charlotte. Yep.
And by all accounts, he would have been picked in the second round anyway. So they really liked him and they felt like they needed him. But I think it's looking to me more and more like they're trending towards a 5-11 year, and they're just kind of patch it together and build on. I saw one account today said, "Oh yeah, it's going to be like 2001. You build on defense and a strong running game, and just manage it." Jarrett Stidham. Well, Jarrett Stidham's not Tom Brady.
Yeah,
and I highly doubt he will be.
Right.
So Brady was a game manager that year, but they also had a couple Hall of Famers on that defense that they don't have on this defense.
Yeah.
So it's going to be I think it's going to be a long year in New England.
Yeah. You think it's a tank for Trevor?
You know what? I wouldn't mind. I think unless you feel like Stidham, it seems like he does. Feels like Stidham is his guy.
Yeah.
I mean, or else he would have drafted another quarterback.
Right.
Or else he'd sign Cam Newton or make a trade for Andy Dalton. And they signed Brian Lewerke and Jamar Smith from Louisiana Tech to battle for the third spot. Those guys aren't gonna be your starters.
We have to go back to the sound machine. I have no idea who that is.
Exactly. Let's go to the tape. I think the Panthers, to me, if I'm looking at that draft, if I'm a Panther fan, you're like, all right, I'm satisfied here. I think we addressed some needs. You got Jeremy Chin as a safety. I think they needed to build up their defense. They did. They got Derek Brown, who threw some shade on Twitter, by the way.
Wow, that was a haymaker. But good for him, though. Good for him, though. And if you haven't seen the story, I guess some guy linked to TMZ made a comment about Derek Brown's girlfriend referring to it as a baby mama. And Derek Brown came off the third rope and told the guy to get out of the kitchen with that stuff. Get out of here. So
yes, as well he should have.
Absolutely. No, I mean, and good for him. And I think a lot of people were praising him up and down. Character guy, good dude, and I think that just kind of solidified that. I know a lot of Panther fans were happy with the pick, and the biggest thing was, you might have been able to gain 100 yards on the Panthers defense last year, John. I mean, it was wasn't quite Highway 22, but
we love Highway 22.
But
Tim McKyer.
Yeah. So anyway, he's that's going to be a big, no pun intended. That's going to be a big addition to the defensive line. They got the kid out of Penn State who is going to be an edge rusher. Chen, I think, is intriguing. I mean, the guy came in as a 0-star recruit in high school, and just worked his way up the ladder, if you will, at Southern Illinois. It's going to be intriguing. They got the kid Tony Pride from who's actually a local kid, Greer, South Carolina, Notre Dame.
Yep.
I will say this: if you're a defensive player and you've signed, whether it's a non-drafted free agent or one of the draft picks, you have to feel pretty good about your chances. I mean, obviously the top three guys are probably going to start right away, or at least the kid from Penn State. He's going to be probably a rotation guy. Gross Matos, yes. Yatur Gross Matos.
Nice pronunciation,
yes.
Which was bollocks.
Yeah.
When he was picked.
And I know this was, ESPN's kind of getting panned for this, and I think it's a little bit. I get it, but you can't hide some. And I'm not suggesting they should hide, but some of the stories this year's draft were just compelling stories. Yatur's he lost his father at a very young age in a drowning. His father saved him, and then drowned, and then his brother was struck by lightning.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, that's
double haymaker.
Yeah,
I was with a few people saying, "Oh my God, did they just report that?"
Yeah,
and I'm thinking, it's interesting. We had this discussion today. I had this discussion today with a class I teach from LaSalle University in Newton, and a couple of students were saying they felt like ESPN went overboard with tragedy. Tragedy porn was a hashtag on Twitter. People were kind of upset with the fact that they went there.
Right.
And the narrative was too much tragic and not enough about the kid's background on the field. It's journalistically, it's a tough call. I think
it's part of the story. You know what I mean? You got to tell the story. It's part of the story.
It is, but I think it would have been better served if they had gone to, if Yatur Gross Matos is sitting down with Michael Strahan on NFL Fox Sunday, that's a story for that type of setting.
Right.
When you're doing a 4 or 5 minute story on the kid and what his background is and where he came from. Another good example is, T. Higgins and his mother was an addict for 16 years.
Yeah, that's a little different though, just because, with addiction, I think you have to be careful because if someone's in, if you're in like Alcoholics Anonymous or I'm thinking of some of the other different, Narcotics Anonymous, stuff like that. There are some like HIPAA violations, privacy issues with stuff like that. I think that was what I think. Obviously the concern is the the health of mom, right? So that's the first and foremost. But I think there's also some privacy stuff that you have to be careful with, things like that. And ESPN, I think, even came out and said, yeah, maybe they went a little overboard on that particular story. I just wonder, John, too, if some of this was, because you hear this stuff every year. I'm just wondering, were there more eyeballs on the second and third day more than normal, and is this part of the reason why this has picked up steam? Because I feel like every year somebody has a story that's heartbreaking, and more than one. And maybe this year just had more of those than normal years. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it seemed like there were more than normal, and I think you're right. The focus was definitely higher. I haven't seen the exact numbers. I know day one was huge, but day 2 and 3, I'm sure they were much higher than they have been in years past. To me, it's if you're a casual football fan, you're not necessarily dedicating hours to the NFL draft.
Right.
Guys like you and I like it. We eat it up.
Yeah.
Even if it was a sunny day.
Yeah.
In April, and I'm sitting there watching the third round. That's me because I can't get enough of the stuff.
Right.
But maybe your grandmother might give it 10 minutes and say, all right. But whereas this year she might have given it 3 hours,
right? Because
there's nothing else on.
Right.
We're all yearning for something.
Well, when you're
meaty to watch,
right? Well, yearning for something that we haven't seen before, right? Something fresh. Everything is, there's only so much of an old, old Matlock that you can watch.
Well, I know you're working your way through Matlock. Now you're rounding. You're going to get Murder, She Wrote next.
I'm how many episodes am I into? I'm in like 4 or 5 deep into Bosch right now. Love that show.
I know you're a big Bosch guy.
That was good. Titus Welliver.
Told you I did not like season 2.
I know. That poisoned it for you apparently.
Big fan of season 1.
I tell you what, I would like to live in Harry Bosch's house.
I've seen that house.
Have you really? In the Hollywood Hills.
In the Hollywood Hills.
Yeah.
You know me, that's my speed.
Right. Did you go? Did you have was it like a cocktail party there? Were you like at a
Yeah, I was invited, but I said
I was invited.
No, I told Christina Applegate I couldn't make it that night.
Yeah.
So.
No, are they gonna have sweet tarts? Nah, I'm not gonna make it. Sorry. No.
Oh, they're gonna have something sweet there. I'll tell you that much.
Shirley Temple? Can I get a Shirley Temple at this
I think the booger sugar might be in order, as you used to call it back in the day. The best was you and I. We worked with this person. I'll say her name. Hopefully, she's watching. Jamie Parker.
Oh yeah,
who was our old sideline reporter from BC.
Yeah, Jamie.
And longtime Nesson personality.
Yeah.
She told me a story, but she used to work on Seinfeld. She moved to L.A., worked on Seinfeld as production assistant. So she goes to a party at Christina Applegate's house in the Hollywood Hills. Who does she go with? She goes with David Schwimmer.
Really?
Yes. So David Schwimmer and Jamie Parker used to hang out a little bit.
Wow.
And she walks into the party, and there are mounds of drugs.
Wow.
I believe in the surrounding area. Yeah, allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly, mounds of drugs and paraphernalia, and that I think was her first sneak peek into '90s Hollywood.
Yeah.
Probably mid '90s.
Right.
So to answer your question, the Bosch house is impressive.
I digress.
But I think I can't get enough of Better Call Saul. I highly recommend that. I know I'm late to the party. I'm on season 2 now, 8 episodes in, and it's one of those shows, Mike. You might feel this way about Bosch. You turn it off, you're like, wait a minute, I need another one.
Yeah.
I need another fix.
Oh, yeah, no. So we watched Jordan last night. I know we'll talk about that coming up here. And then so everybody went to bed, and I was just like, the medium mocha espresso, iced espresso that I got at Dunkin' Donuts, even though it was like 11 o'clock in the morning, because I was still like, fueled up. So so I stayed up and watched a couple of Bosch, and it was like, it got to be about 2:30. I was like, yeah, it's probably time to go to bed. But then I was like, what do I have to do in the morning?
I got nothing.
Yeah.
Just got to talk to that Meterparel kid.
Yeah.
The 7 people we talk about every day. So, I got nothing going. But I think the Jordan documentary and the Last Dance I thought was very good last night. I think it continues to tell me stuff I didn't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I forgot about.
I think that's that's a good point. It's stuff you remember, or it brings back memories that you kind of forgotten about. Like I totally forgot about the the Rodman Bender in Las Vegas.
So did I. I didn't. And Michael Wilbon was on SportsCenter after that. He said no one knew about that.
Yeah.
I mean, they knew about it. Some reporters that were close to it knew about it.
Right.
Today, that would have been all over social media.
Well, you couldn't hide that today.
No way.
I mean, because Carmen Electra's Instagram would have been off the charts.
The best was some people were tweeting Dennis Rodman, the first DNP Vegas.
Not the last.
Not the last. But he's like, oh yeah, Phil, I need a vacation.
I need a vacation. How about Michael Jordan's reaction? You need a vacation. He's like, I need a vacation.
The fact that they would even think about that. It's an NBA season. How about the guy that's working 12 hours in the factory dense?
Yeah.
Maybe gets a week in the summer.
Yeah.
And you're making millions to rebound. And I know he was a singular sensation rebounding the ball.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, go ahead.
It was twisted.
It was so funny. I mean, it was like, can you imagine the scene where, all right, first of all, Jordan just, wow, the insight, right? Like, Phil, he's not coming back. Like, you give him 48 hours, he's not coming back in 48 hours. Like, that's just not happening.
Add another 50 to that.
And then this is like out of a high school movie, right? Where it's like, you got to go get the star. And Carmen Electra is like hiding on the sofa with a blanket over her because Michael Jordan's knocking on the door.
Right, and she has no clue about any form of an NBA schedule.
Right.
And she's just
and why would you, right? I mean, that's too bright. And why would you, right? I mean,
no. I one thing I didn't get clarification was, did Jordan go to Vegas or was Rodman in Chicago?
That was unclear. Because I had the same question. I was like, wait a minute, did he go to Vegas to like drag him back, or did he come back and was still like still on the absent without leave?
Still on the bender?
Yeah. God.
One thing we do know is that, and that was great. That was an aha moment. That was a laugh out loud moment too with Carmen Electra. Carmen Electra has not lost her fastball.
Oh my God! I was like, geez, is this woman aged?
Yeah,
she's like the Dick Clark of females. It's like
heavy on the makeup, but that front court is still 84 Celtics worthy.
Yeah. Championship caliber.
Yeah, that was definitely boy. I haven't seen her in a while.
Yeah,
but she was I had to tell Ben who she was, and he's like, "Who's that?"
Yeah,
I'm like, well, Carmen Electra was pretty big in the late '90s.
Yeah,
Ask your uncle Mike Pacheco about that.
Yeah, she was quite the looker.
Yes,
no doubt about it.
But I think Jordan, his intensity just jumps at you through the screen.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
And how he's just so carefree, doesn't give a shit about anything except the fact that were they winning.
Yeah.
And if they didn't win, it was he felt every pressure in the world. But I like the fact too that they weaved in the Phil Jackson backstory, and they weaved in Tex Winter, and they continue to weave in Jerry Krause, and they weave in Rodman
and Scotty.
Brilliant filmmaking.
Yeah. I love the one. Was it Ron Harper? And talking about was it the Cleveland series? And they switched and they put Craig Elo on him, and he was like,
awesome.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, bleep you. We got
we
got no chance.
But what's interesting, and I kind of had forgotten this, right? So I mean, there were a couple of years where the Bulls were kind of like the bridesmaid, right? And it reminded me a little bit of like LeBron earlier in his career. And it finally took. This to me was not that this was a secret, but it was just good to hear it again and expound on it. But the bringing in of Tex Winter and getting Michael to buy into the triangle offense, instead of the Doug Collins, feed the ball to Michael and let him score 50 a night. That wasn't working, And also, I don't know that I knew this at the time, but the fact that Jordan went on the weight program and he realized that he had to get stronger and physically bulk up a little bit to be able to get past the Pistons.
Were just pushing him around.
Well, and you couldn't do that in today's game, but back then it was, it was like the old Sean Connery, right? You got to bring you don't bring a knife to a gunfight, right?
Well,
from the Untouchables.
The Untouchables was one of his finest, and also The Rock.
The Rock. Well, I am auditioning for the sequel.
I like that. You are getting more bushy by the day.
Yeah, I'm getting to the point where I'm contemplating getting back to normal here.
I still think you should go with it. This is your pandemic hashtag.
It is my pandemic hashtag. If I had a bigger following, I'd say I'll shave it for charity. But I don't think I'd
we could do that. We could do that on Life Without Sports. We could generate at least $10.
Yeah, no, I'd like to do at least to make it worthwhile. It'd be nice to do like $5,000, but I don't think I could do that. So,
well, what we could do is get our rich friends, all three of them, to donate like $4,950.
Yeah,
and you and I can come up with the next, $50.
Well, I tell you what, if we get to 4,900, John and I will make up the difference.
We'll make up the difference. Mike and I can handle the difference. All right. So all 10 of you out there watching us. Yeah. Hey, Mom.
Yeah.
$4,900.
Yeah, and I already have the charity
for Mike to shave off.
Yeah.
The pandemic beard.
Yeah.
He already has a charity.
Yeah. Hospitality House of
Shave it off.
Yeah.
You will shave it off.
I will shave it off. You'll watch. Yeah, we'll do it live on Life Without Sports.
5,000 to charity.
Yeah.
The $4,900 you generate and the $100 that we generate. Nick, can I borrow your wallet?
Hey, you still got that Christmas money?
I looked at the kid's wallet yesterday. It's got wads. It's like he's going to Vegas. Wads of like 5s and 10s.
What, money bags over there?
Oh my God! I'm like Ben or Nick.
Yeah.
Man, someone's been holding out on me.
Well, that's good. That's good. He's got that Luke Kuechly mentality, saving every dollar. That's good.
Luke, what was the first thing you bought with your money? Oh, I bought a couch. And that's true.
I know that's true.
That is true.
That is
Probably.
True. We got to try and get him on Life Without Sports.
Yes, we are efforting that this week. That is a goal of mine, and I know a goal of yours.
Yeah.
Maybe we can work on Christian McCaffrey and his paramour.
Yeah. Yeah. Olivia Cupo's a Massachusetts girl, right? New England girl?
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island, right? Yeah. Wasn't she Miss Rhode Island? Was she Miss Rhode Island?
Former Miss Rhode Island.
Yeah.
That is correct. Yeah, the takeaways from, I think, last night, though, were the fact that you forgot how hateable the Pistons were.
Oh, my
God. Maybe not forgot, but you quickly realized, for those of you who are younger than 35.
No, but you know what? That was, and if you haven't watched that episode, I think it was episode 3, right? That was the first hour. Just Jordan still had strong emotional feelings about that. And, it was interesting when they brought up the snub, because it was personal for Jordan. And I think Michael's argument was, we took it on the chin. They had that heartbreaking loss in Game 7, and I still was out there shaking hands. And then the minute we win, you guys are nowhere to be seen. And Isaiah Thomas was trying to say, "Oh, the Celtics did that to us. I mean, that's just how it was back then." And Jordan's like, "Bullshit."
Yeah. No, I'm not buying that.
Yeah.
You get a feeling Jordan doesn't love Isaiah.
Well, that didn't. That came through last night for sure.
I don't think many do. And based on his post-NBA career, the problems he's had, ruining franchises and leagues for that matter, including the CBA. I loved him as a player. He was one of my favorite players. Little known fact, because of, you knew I was adequate in high school playing center field.
Yes, I did know you were adequate, yeah.
But I wore number 11 because Isaiah Thomas wore number 11.
Really?
I loved the name. I loved his flair. I loved the way he played.
Right.
I love the fact that he was a little small. Maybe I could do that someday, even though I can't jump.
Right. Well, you're adequate.
I am less than adequate. But I think, that was certainly an interesting subplot too. The Celtics had it with Pistons, you're right, and the Lakers had it to some extent.
But nobody liked the Pistons. Like, everybody hated the Pistons.
Everybody hated it. Everybody. And it was a hell of a team, but they were so hateable. They were just such cheap shot artists.
Yeah.
Rick Mahorn.
But, I don't think they don't.
Bill Laimbeer.
But that team in today's NBA doesn't win. They were talented enough to win, but I don't know if they win championships just because they couldn't get away with half of what they do.
True. Pippen got mauled. Think about Horace Grant getting shot to the ribs.
Right. Well, Rodman on Pippen before they were teammates, and when he shoved him almost into the stanchion. Like,
I know.
That thing is kind of frowned upon now.
Yeah, I don't know if you can get away with that now.
Yeah.
I think you might get ejected for that.
Yeah.
And the migraine, the Pippen migraine.
Oh, I forgot about
vaguely
that.
remember
That I had forgotten that. I mean, I remember it. I remember that it happened. But if you had asked me yesterday, I wouldn't have remembered. You know what I mean? It was like one of those things like, oh, yeah, that's right. Of course. I forgot about that.
But you got a sense, too, Jordan was so competitive.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, he had a migraine. You know, It's like he couldn't still to this day accept the fact that he had a migraine.
Well, remember what's coming. They're going to talk about that game in Utah.
Correct.
When Jordan had like 106 fever. He had COVID-19 before it was out.
He did. And he was, everything and anything was happening to him.
Yeah.
He still found a way to play.
And he still put up, and he hit the game-winning shot.
Right. And that was superb.
Yeah.
But he's a freak. He's a freak on many levels. And, that will continue to shine through as the documentary continues.
And the same problem that, that you and I have, putting on weight, when we're as active as we are. I mean, it was hard to, put on those extra.
Yeah, that's how I weighed myself today. I'm like, that can't be right.
So I finally figured out, there's like this intermittent scratching going on, and I think it's your microphone is like catching your zipper. Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna have to remove that.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah, it's better.
Better?
Yeah.
See, folks, this is the beauty of this show. It works so well in rehearsal.
Yeah, it did. Worked great.
And then we take it to the first hole, and it's like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah.
How's that?
That's better. Yeah.
Good?
That's good. Yeah.
You like it when I hold the mic close to my face. Is that better?
That's good.
Or worse? Lean in?
Lean in?
Lean out.
See, I can't.
When you're calling a pitch in baseball, lean in.
How's that? Well, see, I'm just making sure I don't have any COVID-19 here. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, you all right? How's the?
Yeah, just injecting the sunlight into my.
Get your ultraviolet rays.
Yeah.
And for those of you, what are you watching? Watch Anthony Fauci, played by Brad Pitt.
Oh, Saturday Night Live, and they, you know what? I thought the first one was good. It was a little, by nature, it had to be campy because they were trying to figure out like the production values of it. But I thought this one, they, a great football analyst, All-American, played in the NFL, told me this. But a football team's greatest improvement is between game 1 and game 2.
Who told you that?
That's one of Pete Cronin's A1s.
That's like week 1 keys to the game.
Yeah. Well, no, but he gets 2 weeks out of it because he mentions it in the first week and then he follows up with it in the second week.
Right.
Well, right. It's a 2 week. It's a 2 week
classic.
That's a 2 weeker, man.
Classic Croninism.
Yeah.
2 weeker keys to the game.
Yeah. So I think SNL had that the technical advancement that they were able to do coming out of the blocks. And the backstory is somebody asked Anthony Fauci who we want playing him, and he's Brad Pitt, and so of course they make it happen, and it was pretty good. It was a pretty good invitation. Pretty good.
I thought it was really
good.
Pretty good. It wasn't Larry Sanders as Bernie Sanders.
No,
Larry David as Bernie Sanders.
No, it was pretty good.
It was yuck worthy.
It was yuck worthy.
It was, and I like what Pitt did at the end too, saluting all the first responders,
yes,
taking the wig off, and
making
sure that was part of it too.
Yeah.
But for the most part, SNL is jumped the shark. Isolated good bits. David Ortiz, played by Keenan Ivory Thompson.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Were you not a fan of What's Up With That? You didn't like that?
I didn't. Full disclosure, I didn't watch the whole show.
You didn't watch the whole show. Okay, I liked it. I thought it was a good skit.
Why I don't watch the whole show is because I don't expect much.
Right. Yeah. It's but I will say this: to do something that long, to still be relevant, that's really hard to do. And comedy, as you know, John, is particularly.
Oh,
it's probably the most. Because with the nights with the on-field pregame show I do, I get to talk to a lot of comedians, and because they come into the Comedy Zone, and we'll have them on, and those guys. Comedians can do anything. Like you couldn't drag like an A-list actor and have him do comedy, or put him in a comedy, or her.
Right.
And now some of them do have the chops. Don't get me wrong, but it's not a run-of-the-mill skill.
No,
but most comedians can act because basically it's an act. They're up there playing a character.
It's also extemporaneous speaking. It's
Yeah.
less on what's on
Right.
the page, the printed
Right.
page.
Right.
It's more about what's at the top of your head.
Right.
Jerry Seinfeld has a Netflix special
Yeah.
coming out on May 4th.
But see, that's why I think also play-by-play. If you're good at play-by-play, I think you can do anything. Like I think you can do anchoring stuff. You can do reporting. I mean, it's because you have to. All the things that we have to do doing play-by-play are things that people don't normally have to do. Like we're thinking, we're describing what's going on, and also trying to anticipate what's coming up, and thinking about that, and keeping a train of thought, and speaking without a net.
I always knew I was smarter than I looked.
You are smarter than you looked, yeah.
Thanks for verifying
that.
Now that I could, hey, I'm a play guy. I can operate on you. What do you need done?
Yeah, that's operate on you.
Yeah. But no, that's well said.
I will pass on the operation. Thank you.
Yes. So would I. I absolutely would. But I agree with that. I think it's a skill as Mike adjusts himself.
Well, I'm hiding that.
You wearing a jock today, or is that?
No, I got. I'm fully clothed.
Too much information.
Yeah, I'm fully clothed. I'm just trying to beat the sun here.
Well, good for you. We have no sun in Boston.
Yeah, it's raining
0.
there today. I hate to rub it in, but it is. It's probably right now. It's probably about 65, 66.
Oh, you're killing me.
You're
killing me.
Beautiful day. Nothing but blue skies here today, John. As we get ready for the White Sox and the Red Sox.
And let's have the starting lineups for you. Brought to you by Joe Castiglione's favorite air conditioning company. By the way, the air conditioning company that he never got one for free.
Still waiting for that.
Still waiting for that air conditioner.
If you're watching Mike Kellogg, he's still waiting for that air conditioner.
Yes, he's waiting for it. Thanks for the weather update, Larry Sprinkle. I have nothing good to report here.
I don't have a weather map, unfortunately.
Dreariness.
But I guess I could.
Maybe later in the week. Look here we go. Now you're making me nauseous.
Get the sky in there. There you go.
What is that? Is that the Pacheco blimp?
Yeah. Well, I am in the shadows of the 13th hole at Quail Hollow. So.
Yeah, I know. Thanks. Yeah, you and Freddie Couples, same neighborhood.
So you always know when the tournament's coming because you can hear the helicopter doing the flyover that they use for the telecast.
Yeah, well, that's and
then
first world problems.
And then we do, and then we do get a lot of blimp time.
Yep.
A lot of blimp
time. Of course
time.
you do. Yep. Good for you.
Yep.
Thanks. Those of us just in our own little desolate part of the world.
It's funny, just how the world changes, right? I remember being a kid. This had to be like 78 or 79, and the might have been, or I forget why it was in town, but the Goodyear blimp was in Massachusetts for some reason, and I just remember flying over my house, and I thought it was like the
coolest
Beatles had showed. Yeah, it was like the greatest thing in the world.
I agree with that. I've been to the Goodyear blimps
in Akron.
No, in California, where they parked one of the Goodyear blimps. So I thought that was cool.
Oh yeah,
just driving by it. Even I think it's in the home of Carson, California. The home of
the NFL,
the Home Depot Center. Yeah, where the Chargers play.
Isn't that where the new Rams and Chargers facility? Is that going to be in Carson?
It's in Inglewood.
Inglewood, that's right, Inglewood. Carson is where the NFL is now, I think. Yeah.
Yes.
And speaking of blimps, and we'll have this guy on.
Not too far from my good friend Christina Applegate's house.
Yes. With a lot of booger sugar, as you call it. I've never heard that expression.
Alleged
booger sugar.
Yes, alleged.
Yeah.
Well, see, we open your eyes on life without sports, everybody.
That's
and that's
great.
A good way to conclude on a Monday, Mike,
Yes.
as we've covered all the bases here for you. At least we think we have. We're going to take a bow, but we are going to take a sabbatical tomorrow.
Yeah, we're going to tell you, we've worked really hard today, so we're taking Tuesday off.
We'll take a Tuesday off. This was way too hard.
Yeah.
We got we're on load management. We're on Dennis Rodman's
load
schedule.
management. That's a good That's a good way to put it.
We are. Pacheco needs a vacation. He's going to Vegas.
I know. I'm going to Vegas. Virtually Vegas. I'm gonna go do some online poker and maybe find some online slots somewhere.
Even though it's closed, he'll find a way.
So does that mean like all those artists? Do they do like virtual in residencies now? Like, can you go to like Celine Dion, like her virtual Vegas appearance?
They should.
Yeah.
You go to was it the guy who died? Danny Gans. Remember him? He used to do all the imitations.
Oh yeah.
He was a big Vegas guy.
Hey, can you get like takeout at the restaurants and all the Vegas casinos? Takeout from the buffet.
As long as the In-N-Out Burger's open, I'm good.
Yeah.
The best burger in America.
I think what was the place? Larry had a place. Larry Glick had a place. I don't know if it's still open. I think it was Nunzio's. I'll research that for Wednesday.
Yeah, that's Mike's Vegas virtual restaurant.
And you know, I've never Vegas. I got to go to Vegas. Vegas is the one. I mean, I think I've been to like 33 or 34 states because of work. Whether it's old days producing or doing talk show stuff now, or with or play-by-play with Winthrop and stuff.
Yeah.
But Vegas is the one place I've never been.
Never been to Nevada?
No, never been to Nevada. I've flown over it, but I've never touched down in the state of Nevada.
It's a must.
I know. I got to do it. I got to do it.
You know
who's a big Vegas fan is VB, Doug Gowdy.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
He's a degenerate. So I say that with all the love in the world.
Wow. All right, so coming up on Thursday, Doug Gowdy will join us.
VB will join us.
To respond to his...
We got to track down VB.
Yeah, I'll see if he'll do it.
Keekly, VB.
Yeah. Ryan McGee.
It's a short list.
We got to get Ryan McGee. Speaking of blimps, because Ryan McGee's, he did a blimp cast, I think, with Marty.
He did.
Marty Smith. So.
Ryan McGee's another guy. So we have a lot of guests planned.
Yeah.
For this mess of a show.
Yeah.
But Mike Pacheco, may all your todays be the same as tomorrow.
Well, not tomorrow. May all your tomorrows be like Wednesday, because that's when we're back on.
Yes, we are. So long, everybody.
All right, everybody. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.